and guys, so glad you could join us this morning for our web seminar on lookingforlove.org.uk. Hey, if you were on your own at Christmas, where were you? We were here. All our team were working till 11 o'clock on Christmas Eve. Actually, every single person that joined before Christmas Eve was matched up. They weren't on their own. Someone rang them back, and then we went to church. You see, we've always believed love is in the air. Now, today is a new day. Pun definitely intended, because some of you have been ringing us since 1989. Now, how are we going to help you? Of course, we never forget there are other agencies out there. Some of you have got to the end of all of your matches with that other big firm. You're still on your own. Why? Is it our fault? No, you didn't join. Fine. Some of you joined that other Christian, we thought, dating agency. Okay, we know they'll relieve you of £1,500 of your money. And then their director will go skiing on December the 15th for a whole month. So she won't be matching you up on Christmas Eve. How do I know that? Well, her office manager walked out in disgust, and when he'd left the company, he phoned me the same day and told me. Anyway, back to Looking for Love. Look, if you want to have a date on Valentine's Day, you'll get one. But only if you send your form back. You won't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket. Look, the key to it all is preparation. I know we've had the year from hell. How can you prepare? Well, if you are going on a journey, don't they say that the longest journey begins with a single step? Don't know about you girls and guys, but honestly, if I was driving to, a very good church, say the King's Arms in Bedford, round the corner from where my nephew lives, I'd prepare. If I was allowed, of course I'm not allowed, I can only Zoom it now, I'd be filling up the water bottle and preparing for the journey. Now, I need to go to church. You might not do, but I've been a Christian since I was 12 and a half. So for me, worshipping God is a non-negotiable thing. So I find the churches that are open. Yours might not be. I always find one. So our home church is audacious. We go to the Manchester one. If you like, you can go to the Chester one. We went there at Christmas. Fabulous. Or you can go to the ones that are opening next year. It's this year now. Sheffield and Cardiff. And the Manchester Cathedral. So there's a few ideas. Or you can do what we did this Sunday. Guess who's sold my 4th book all about depression? Actually, we could have done with that, being reprinted during these COVID times. Well, it wasn't my home church. You'd think they'd sold loads. Well, they didn't. The church that said, we've got our counselling team to read this, they told us it was the best book they've ever read on the subject of depression. That's why they sold a lot. That's why they're now sold out. But we're working on the reprint. As soon as we have your money, we can do that. So I found that church. It was open on Sunday. It's at Bradford. It's called Life Church. It's the biggest church in the country for a reason. Because they live their lives according to the Bible, the message thingy, that talks about living like the early church lived. In the Acts of the Apostles, read in the Bible, whatever version you like, the first 4 chapters, that's how they live. That's how we live. So Sunday morning, husband decided we're going to Bradford, Life Church. We booked. You can do that. You have to book online for a free ticket, just so they can make sure in these COVID times you can wear your mask, you wash your hands, you use the sanitizer, you don't sing, you agree to be socially distant, you sit with your husband, not with anybody else's husband. You get the picture. Normally, of course, you don't have to book a ticket, you just turn up and they welcome you. Oh boy, do they welcome you. I know if you don't go to church, you think, well, they welcome Sue because she does go to church. What about me? Oh boy, they'd welcome you. They'd give you a coffee were it not for COVID. And actually, Audacious will give you a coffee because their coffee bar is open, because they have learned. It's a big thing if you don't go to church to actually make that step over the threshold, isn't it? Especially if you've got baggage. Oh, come on, we've all got baggage. This is the year we learnt about other people's baggage. But Audacious know you'll feel more comfortable on your first visit if you have something to hold. You know, if you were a baby, we'd give you a dummy and you'd feel comfortable. Well, you're not a baby if you're watching this. So to make you feel more comfortable, you'll get a coffee. You have something to hold while you get to see if you like this church. And if not, find another one. What about Holy Trinity Brompton, London? Well, I was even telling Boris Johnson to go there before he had COVID. Just ask him. He's got the book, 50 Shades of Grace. He told me he was reading it. So Boris, if you're watching, I hope this blesses you. So Sunday morning, hubby decided we're going to Bradford. Well, I'm a Nashville girl at heart. I might not be as young as you, but I did take my youngest son to Nashville when he was 16. These are my Nashville shoes, girl. What do you think of them? Nice. Would you wear them? Oh, yes. I wore them Sunday. The worship at Bradford was awesome. Pastor Aaron, who's a songwriter, he's also a worship leader. He's also a pastor and a preacher. He brought the word. It was fantastic. Watch it on YouTube. See what you think. And then Pastor Charlotte Gamble, who's the senior pastor. I've known her since she was a little girl. Wow. If she prophesies, you know it's the word of God. You had better listen. Now, if you have come to Looking for Love, hoping to meet the youngest member of the board, well, you'll be in for a surprise. You'll have a long wait. I'll give you a clue. This is what we've bought for her birthday this week. Fantastic. She's even got the sign that says she's on the board. She's actually the head of baby-led weaning and development. Don't expect me to whisper on your welcome phone call. That's another of our members ringing up saying, Sue, I need a phone. But now I'm talking to you. They can wait. Well, put it on silent because nobody is more important than you. That's actually the message I've always given people since 1989. For this 5 minutes, there is no one more important than you. Whether you're the single girl that thinks her body clock's ticking, she wants a baby and she's never had a date. Whether you're the divorced man, his baggage is that his wife's dumped him for a younger model and left him in a bedsit on Christmas Eve. Whether you're a lovely worship leader, a single guy, and it took his friends 8 years to tell him, honey, get your teeth fixed, then the girls will want to kiss you. But don't expect me to whisper. I can do loud. You know why I can do loud? I was the youngest Salvation Army officer in the country when I was 18. There was only one other guy of 18 allowed in my session, which was actually called the light bringers, which is a bit funny when you look at my Marks and Spencer's candle this morning. So I had 2 years in the college, came fully trained, ran a church as a single girl of 20, so I was good. I'm not going to apologise for being loud. If you're in the Salvation Army, you can do loud. You're stood on Electric Street, and some of you people in London know where Electric Street is. You can say our gospel is electric, but you've got to say it in a loud voice. Okay, so this is the form. No, this is the birthday card for the youngest member of our board. To be honest, if you rang her, she'd talk more sense than all the rest of the board if you got them on a bad day, unless you got me. So now you have had your form from lookingforlove.org.uk. If you've rung and asked our staff, we've sent it in the post. If you've downloaded it from the website, fantastic. I hope as you fill your form in, you have asked your friend for her advice, or his advice, or your pastor. Honestly, guys, you have missed out on the most stunning 31-year-old single girl you'd ever meet. You know why I know that? I showed her photo to the senior pastor of Bradford Life Church on Sunday, without a name, of course. And he said, "Sue, leave it with me. I've loads of guys who want to meet her for Sunday, for the next week, for Valentine's Day. We just need time." And you guys to send your form in. Look, this says this is our biggest year yet. We're believing God for that, for us, because that's what Audacious Church are believing for us as well. We're believing it for you. We have prepared, but have you? Look, if you were to go and say to your pastor, "How should I prepare for this date?" what do you think he'd say? Okay, with my pastor's heart, my pastor's hat on, I would say, girls, if you're going to meet the guy that might want to marry you, prepare. Don't turn up in your scruffy leggings and your woolly pullover. Think this guy could meet another 10 girls next week if he joins Looking for Love. You've only got one chance to make a first impression. Wear clothes that suit you. Yes, not everybody wears dresses all the time. Find a skirt. Why don't you find some shoes like I wore to Bradford? I could show you in an instant where you can get shoes for £5. If you say, "Well, my roots are a mess because of COVID," well, mine were a mess last week, but I went and got something. And I did my roots. It took 20 minutes. Guess how much it cost me? £1. So you already know where I've been. Now, we're preparing that you will actually, in 9 months' time, what will you be doing? Don't say you'll be having a baby. We hope that won't happen. But you might be wanting our wedding planning division. Save the Bride. We'll help you. But we've to get there. Remember I said every journey starts with a single step. So your single step is to take advice from your pastor, from your best friend, or from us. What should I wear on a first date? Something that says, if you're a girl, this is feminine. You'll get me as the bride. Be yourself, because everybody else is already taken. Did Oscar Wilde say that? Or was it Pastor Brian Houston from the biggest church in the world, Hillsong, Sydney, Australia, and London, and Liverpool, and Glasgow, and Edinburgh? And our other friends that are praying that we run with the vision are Sue and Andrew, pastors of Destiny Church, Glasgow. Sue and Andrew, who came from the Wirral, are praying for this Sue and Andrew. Andrew came from the Wirral, but I've always been in Rossendale for many years. So run with the vision we've got. Don't be like the lady who rang me. You'll laugh at this. She rang me last week and said, now, I rang before Christmas. I didn't fill the form in then. I want another form. So I listened with a compassionate heart. She said, but I'm not paying £99, the same price you charged in 1989. Now I'm only going to pay you half of that. That's interesting. Then her final thing was, and I'm not even going to get a photo. Guess what I said? I didn't say the rude thing you would have said. I would have said, oh, love, you'll find out that if you go to Tesco, you can get your photo done while you're doing your social distance shopping. Can you see how that was madness? Do you think she'll still be on her own come Christmas? Sadly, I do. And it won't be down to me. It's down to her. Just as the girl who had a date 25 years ago with a tall 6'4" worship leader, musician, she had a date then. Is it my fault she didn't marry him, or is it hers? Well, he rang me back afterwards and said, why ever did you match me up with her? I told you I wanted feminine. Somebody who made an effort like you do. I wanted actually somebody like you, but younger. She turned up in her denims and a scruffy pullover. Now, I knew this person, but I obviously couldn't discuss how I knew this person. Everything we do here is confidential. So I said, oh, love, where did you take her? Well, I knew where he'd taken her. He said to McDonald's, like you told me to do. And I said, well, you know, if you'd have taken me to McDonald's, I would have worn my scruffy jeans and my woolly pullover. You know, girls, I wouldn't have done, don't you? I always prepare. It was always going to be my Nashville shoes, my lovely skirt that I wore to Bradford on Sunday. It might have even been my Looking for Love t-shirt. I got that from Spain. So you choose your agency, work with them. Please don't ask me not to run with the vision God has given us. Listen, learn. Of course, when I said meet in McDonald's, I didn't stay there for the whole 2 hours. I meant meet there. You're not on a drafty station platform. You're not actually prey to the awful guy who met you from that other agency. You know, the one where you swipe left, you swipe right. And she made an awful mistake. She didn't deserve to die. But she did make a mistake when he bought her a drink, and maybe he'd laced it, I don't know. But he took her to the hotel room he'd already booked. She agreed to go. That was madness. And she ended up chopped up in a suitcase. And it breaks my heart as a mother to think that poor girl who made one mistake had to go through all that. She didn't deserve to die. So don't join something that only asks a few questions. Well, they don't actually ask anything. The speed dating thing does that. And the guy you sit with for 3 minutes wants to ask you 3 questions. You know what the 3 questions are, don't you? Are you divorced? In other words, have you any baggage? Well, he might have baggage. He might be divorced. He might actually be widowed. It's still baggage. If you've got your late wife's photo all around your house, or worse than that, what about if you take her wedding dress to your new relationship and she's been dead 25 years? He's still got baggage. We've all got baggage. Just deal with it one step at a time.